Hey guys, Jody Blackwelder here with Gen7 Outdoors. This is a Gen7 Outdoors podcast. It's going to be a new podcast series we have actually already out with a couple episodes already. And what we're doing is we are sitting down with the content creators that come on board with us on the channel. And today we have On the Limb podcast, and they are based in West Virginia, and they have like a whole gang of guys, but I think today we got three guys that's going to be sitting down and talking with us, and that's Mike Booth. I actually had to write their names down because I want to get the order right. So Mike is, I believe, what you would call the host. Dan Hall, considered the host, maybe a co-host. I'm not 100% sure. I left a question mark. And then there's a guy named BJ Sampson. They listed him as a co-host, but I feel like he's the backbone. So I don't know. I think behind the scenes, he's the heavy lifter. Okay. I think that's it. So guys, come on, just come on board. I appreciate y'all joining me and doing this podcast with me. And I just want to welcome y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, appreciate you, Jody.
So whose idea was it to put this podcast together originally?
It was mine.
Yeah, Mike called me, or was we drinking a bourbon and smoking a pipe, Mike, or did you call me? I think we was drinking a bourbon and smoking a pipe, and he was like, "What do you think about doing a podcast?"
Well,
I'm like,
yeah, this idea come up a long time ago, and it took us about a year to get into it. We did like a 4 to 6 month trial with a bunch of different platforms, and we started out just doing it over the internet, and there was no live feeds. It was just doing it over the internet, and we were going back and editing our videos and then posting them after that. So, but yeah, it just come up as an idea. We don't pay for advertising unless it's local with like West Virginia Bowhunters Association or the NWTF or the Ducks Unlimited with our local chapters. Other than that, we don't pay for advertising. So we advertise on ourselves for everything, and we create everything we do basically all the way down to the website. So when it comes to advertising and getting things out more, because we have some censoring that's going on some networks, and if you're not in an area to where they want to push your products out, then they're not going to. So we thought, well, you know what? We'll push our own products out there, and podcasts are getting big. So why not start a podcast? So On the Limb podcast was created through Nature's Voice Game Calls, the business. So turkeys live on a limb. We thought, wait, hey, what better name for a podcast than On the Limb podcast?
Yeah, very cool.
We're about 4.5 years in right now. We started in 2022, late 2022, and we just recently brought on the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources as our title sponsor. So On the Limb podcast is now brought to you by West Virginia Division of Natural Resources.
I like that. That's awesome. So Dan, whenever like he reached, y'all sitting there, if it was over a strong drink and some tobacco. So whenever he like mentioned this in your mind at that time, how did you envision the podcast looking and sounding and like what it would be about?
so honestly, when he mentioned it, I had really honestly never listened to a podcast a day in my life. I'm like, I don't like, I've seen like snippets of like Theo Vaughn or Joe Rogan, but I've never really just sat down and listened to a podcast. So I'm like, I said, I mean, it could be interesting. I said, let me watch some, listen to some, whatever, and then we can figure it out from there for sure. But honestly, I envisioned it pretty much the way we're going, just keeping kids in the outdoors, keeping the heritage alive, and, just sitting down like you're at old deer camp, just BSing with your buddies.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Telling stories and just laughing and just getting into it.
Right. So, all right. So BJ, where did you come into the mix of this? Like,
Well, I tell you,
BJ's an OG.
uh-huh.
He's right there with Dan on the OG
So,
status.
A good friend of ours, Jonathan Fowler, was actually in the business with Mike on Nature's Voice game calls, and he introduced me to Mike. I bought several of the calls. I was very successful, with ducks, geese, whitetail, and turkey on all the calls. So I was actively involved. I think the first time I was invited to a podcast, I actually messed that up because I didn't make it. I had Lyme's disease, and we done a segment on that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jonathan
that's not. Yeah,
so
that's not really an excuse. But
well,
okay, go ahead.
I mean, what a terrible excuse, right? Jonathan and I have unfortunately had Lyme disease like 3 times apiece. So apparently we're hunting in the right spot.
You don't, but you don't get rid of
You're-
Lyme disease, though, right?
You're
It don't
getting
go.
hunted in the
I
right
kicked
spot.
meningitis what years ago. So I just think that those ticks ain't got no match for me. But they'll be all right.
So, okay, all right, yeah.
So
I don't know.
I've had 0 side effects that I know of other than just getting old. So
Okay,
I'm feeling pretty good still.
Yeah.
all right.
So I missed that one, but my real break came last fall. It was a good snowy first day here in West Virginia. I decided I was skipping work and I was going bow hunting. And I met up with a deer that I had chased for almost 5 years. I had never seen him in daylight. The first time that I seen him was the last time I'd seen him in daylight. So within 10 minutes of first light that morning, I harvested Frank the Tank. He became a legend on the channel. We decided to do a show with it, and I got to
Yep.
come on here and speak with it. So immediately I told Mike, I said, man, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. So he invited me back to more shows. And anytime I get a platform to talk and run my mouth, I'm happy about it.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. So you killed this deer that took you 5 years to kill.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, was he really that slick, or was you the issue?
There was probably never a slicker deer I've ever met. I mean,
Okay,
guy would
all
show
right.
up. He
That's
would,
what I would say too if I was on the podcast.
yeah. I mean, I could have just been a terrible hunter, but yeah, with the aid of cameras and cell cameras, I have some fence behind Frank. So Frank was one of those deer that he would show up every now and then on the camera at nighttime, but only once a year would you see that deer in daylight on camera. Now, in those previous years, he was on cutty-back camera, so I would check him, and then I would cry later because I realized it was 3 days ago that he was on camera.
Right.
So this
The
particular instance was on a stealth cam. I was sitting at the house having a cold beer and waiting for that snow to really start picking up, and several other deer showed up in the area that evening, but he did not. He was not on camera, so I was hunting a different deer actually that morning. I'd only had 2 pictures of him that year. One was in early spring or early fall, and then I had a nighttime photo of him. So it was to my surprise when he showed up literally 20 yards from me 10 minutes after daybreak.
the so so I kind of my mind's wandered back. A few years ago, I sat down and talked to a wildlife biologist, a whitetail wildlife biologist, about deer like that. This mystical deer that she was hunting. And I asked him, I said, are they just that smart? He said, no. He said, they probably have an extreme social issue. They're scared of their own shadow. And like if they were a human, they would be somebody that would probably be locked up. Like they are just that bad off. And he said, that's just why they live, because they run from everything. They're scared of everything. If they see one thing out of place, they're never coming back to it. And so apparently you had one of these chemical imbalanced deer that you
I
finally.
will never tarnish Frank's name like that.
Oh God.
I don't support this evidence.
That does make sense, though, if you think about it. Like, you got dogs with anxiety and stuff like that have issues. Why wouldn't any other wildlife have some sort of issue at a time?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
2026, we all got anxiety, right?
yeah, very true. Yeah,
I mean, Dan, you're in a state full of it right now. You better be careful.
yeah. I mean,
That
with
ain't no
all
lie.
the, with all the COVID stuff, who knows what happened?
Yeah, it was very unique. Like I said, when deer show up on my property, I usually see them quite often. But that
Right.
particular deer, he would show up once a year in daylight, and it was always chasing does on camera. but then he would disappear and you never see him again. And then, the cell cameras came around and like I said, I got 2 pictures, one in early fall, and then I got a nighttime picture in November, but he was just passing through. There was another deer that seemed to be kind of controlling the area. But the unique thing about Frank, when I've seen him 5 years ago, this deer had one of the largest necks on a whitetail I'd ever seen. I mean, he was in full on rut in the middle of October, just huge neck. But when I killed him, he was also had this gigantic neck. This deer was like 9 feet from nose to back hoof,
Oh,
and
wow.
well exceeding 200 plus pounds. So he was just a unique deer, and in the area that I hunted him and took him in was very special to be able to harvest a deer at that age because they usually don't make it too long around that area.
I got you. What about you, Mike? What is your go-to hunting story? Like whenever people are sharing hunting stories, you're like, well, that ain't say, check this out. Well, what's your go-to story?
Well, I have several. I grew up hunting with my brother that is no longer here. So, that's kind of another reason behind our business. We
Right.
carrying the passion on that he had for turkey hunting. I didn't have the passion for turkey hunting that he did growing up. I've always been a deer hunter. So, I grew up in Pocahontas County, hunting up
Okay.
there. And, probably there's not really many stories of myself killing or harvesting animals that stand out, but, other than probably I think it was last year, it was year before last. I was with, another buddy of ours, John Webb, and, I harvested a big, 18 and 3/4 inch, 6 point.
Oh,
And
wow.
but, growing up, I think it was just hunting with my brother and, raising my son in the outdoors and seeing him harvest animals. I've got more, enjoyment out of that myself, I believe, than actually just, the harvests that I've had in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about you, Mr. Dan? What's your go-to?
Well, honestly, I've got 2 stories that really stick out. One when I was first coming into hunting, and then the other one is actually a story with Mike's brother, Tim. And that's a lot of times my go-to story. And I tell this story because of how amazing this man was at turkey hunting, at turkey calling. I've never seen the likes of it in my life hunting. We was out at our property in Mason County, West Virginia at the time, and he come down there with us, and we was on birds. They was everywhere, just wasn't coming. They was already henned up, everything. We was sitting on top of a ridge, and down this ridge, it was 400 foot down to the river, you know. And then across the river is a huge, huge field. And we're sitting on top of this ridge. You can see the gobbler out there in the field with 7 hens. He's like, yep, we're screwed. He said, nah, I'll get them. So there's no way you're calling a turkey with hens across the river up a mountain. Lo and behold, he caught a gobbler with 7 hens across the river up a mountain. And my father-in-law missed
Oh,
the shot.
wow.
He got him
Oh,
within
man.
20 yards, and he didn't kill the gobbler. So, it was just in awe of what this man could do to work a turkey and get it to respond. And that's what the
That is
Talk of Woods
awesome.
is about.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So what, like with y'all's podcast, like where do you hope to see it go and kind of what your plans with it?
Grow. I'd
Well,
love to.
we hope, go ahead, Dan.
No, yeah. I say grow, get the reach out there, and get people interested in it. Like deer camp is kind of starting to be a thing of the past. You don't really see it as much. It's like when we was growing
Right.
up, that was the big thing. You took the whole week off. You went to deer camp. Your uncles, your cousins, everybody was there. The grown ups was out there cutting up, drinking some beer. The kids were cleaning the dishes. Whatever. They was put to work. They was
Right.
made to do the things and to earn their spot, their right to be there. You know, so I'd love to see that,
Yeah,
to be able to
100%.
keep that alive, kind of type thing where we can sit down. Like I don't know if you remember check-in stations gone. Everything's online pretty much now, so you can't
Yeah,
go out and show off your deer. So now we got to get it out there some way. It's just the way I want to get it out there. You know, just being able to talk these stories, talk about Frank the Tank, and let other people hear that story so they can enjoy it too.
absolutely. What about you, Mr. Mike? What would you hope to see come of this?
Well, I tell you what, like Dan said, you know, the deer camp and keeping the hunting traditions alive is one of the biggest things that we wanted to do. But we've kind of evolved into you know, being a voice for the outdoors in West Virginia
Sure.
and just a place to come enjoy West Virginia, the, you know, wild and wonderful, the beautiful state that we live in, the mountain state. So, one of the things that we, you know, have proposed with the DNR is we want to be that voice for the DNR that helps them get their regulations out to a mass population of people. When it comes to changes within regulations, when it comes to the opening set, what are the what is the meetings that they have? I had it right on the tip of my tongue. We got one coming up. It's the commission. So like the commission
meeting.
meetings,
Yeah.
you'll have all the different districts talk about, you know, different things going on in their area, different things that people are wanting to propose. You know, we want to be a voice to help that get out and to let people know and be informed about what's going on with the DNR, what they're doing for our state.
Absolutely. Dude, that's awesome. What about you, PJ?
You know, I want all those things, but I really just want my kids to look at me and say, "That's my dad."
That's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Yep. I like that.
Yeah, that is cool.
My son, he loves the podcast. So, you know, I just want them to see that they can do anything and they can put themselves out there. You don't have to be afraid to speak in public, and you know, you can interact with people and keep sharing the love of the outdoors and everything that we do. So,
Yeah.
I think that's my most important.
That's awesome. So where all is your podcast available, and kind of how do y'all show? Like, what kind of schedule are y'all on?
Well, we try to do every Tuesday. Sometimes that don't work out with Dan's schedule being out of town working, you know, different things because I still work a regular job. BJ works a regular job. So we try to schedule things on Tuesdays, but if not, we'll move it to Thursdays. And we'll
Yeah.
kind of, you know, go along with the guest when they want to come on. We're flexible when it comes to that. We try to air about every week, some episode. We keep about a backlog of anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. That way we have extra stuff to go out at all times. But of course, we're on GEN7 Outdoors TV. We're on that channel there.
Yes.
We're on
Yes.
Carbon TV. We're on Listen Notes. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music. There's about
Instagram,
20.
Facebook.
Yeah, there's Facebook, Instagram, Rumble. There's YouTube. There's probably about 25 or 30 different podcast networks that we're on that we can't even get analytics for. But you know, you can actually find our podcast out there in Spanish if you're fluent with Spanish and that's
yeah,
all you want to
I
listen
found
to.
that.
Totally want to
Yeah.
do that.
I stumbled
found
across
that.
that somehow.
That-
I don't
that is
remember what I
crazy.
was even doing, and I'd seen it. I'm like, huh, that's our podcast. That's our logo. What the heck is this? Like I couldn't read the
Yeah.
words. Yeah, I was like I clicked on it, and it was all translated
100%.
into Spanish. So I put like closed captioning on, and it was us talking what we was talking about. I'm like, so I called Mike. I'm like, dude, we have a translated version of our podcast in Spanish. So that was pretty cool to see.
That is cool.
Yeah,
That is very
how did
cool.
we sound, Dan?
Yeah.
What's that?
How did we sound?
It was a translation. I don't know. It wasn't our voices.
He was really kind of stuck.
Yeah, we
They sound
were
Mexican.
But like,
translate.
yeah. Like
forward.
whenever y'all
Yeah,
talked, it
I'm
wasn't
gonna-
like
I'm
a
gonna-
female voice that took over for BJ, was
Oh,
No.
it? Like one with the British accent. Like Oh, and when I went out
Hello.
hunting, I saw.
I'm
You want a
spot
spot?
of tea,
Are
would
you
you?
drinking a spot of tea as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. So you got the podcast, you got distributed, y'all doing good. You got a good network of guys there. Um, what what would be like something that y'all may want to venture out to do besides the podcast?
I don't know if there's any
But
time.
we'll start with Mike first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if there's any time for anything else.
Yeah, this is consuming. It really is.
Okay.
And I know,
Yeah.
especially for Mike.
I
It's,
didn't know if y'all.
it's
I'm thinking about a live podcast on the back of the Misty Fjord in Alaska.
I mean, I'm open to anything, but one of my, you know, I don't want to say idol, but one of the guys that I look up to in this industry is obviously Pat McAfee. I mean,
Oh my goodness!
look at the podcast that he's created on a national network now. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was born and raised in Pennsylvania, came to West Virginia University, and was one of the best kickers that ever came there, and played in NFL. And
Yep.
now he's got his own podcast, and he's sponsored by ESPN.
Did you just throw down to have Pat McAfee on our show?
I'll have him
Love
on
it.
the show any day he wants to come.
Hey,
telling you,
honestly, if we can get Pat McAfee and the Runaway Beer Truck at the same time,
Oh, Big Owen Schmidt,
I
baby.
don't know if I
Yeah,
could survive
that would be good.
I don't know if I could survive that.
That would be good.
Jody, you know who we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, you're down south. You're down there.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yes, I'm familiar with his podcast there.
Yep.
The
I would also
So-
be trending number 1 on Gen7 Outdoors. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
y'all are up
again,
there. Y'all
you know.
doing pretty good. But so y'all already like y'all up in the top numbers. So let me ask you, like, what would be your top 3 people that you would invite on your podcast? Like, I mean, just give them be like, okay, if I was going to pick, and I know it may be different for each of you. And for this one, I'm going to start with BJ.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to start with BJ. What if you could just get anybody? They got to be alive, right?
Okay. All right.
But after that, it can be anybody. So who would be your top 3?
I think my top 3 would be Tim Wells,
Okay,
Jackie Bushman,
that'd be a good one.
and Bill
All
Jordan.
right.
I think
Yeah.
those are the 3 guys that I grew up with that influenced me the most when it come to hunting and the adventure behind chasing a trophy. So yeah, I think those would be my top 3.
What about you, Mike?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to have to say Ted Nugent.
Oh yeah, that kind of slipped my mind. Yeah, Ted, Uncle
You know,
Ted. We've had
Uncle
to have
Ted.
Uncle Ted.
I ain't changing my
Uncle
answer.
Ted is.
Don't you do it.
But yeah, I'll go back old school too. I mean, I'd like to. I grew up watching Bill dance, and I grew up
Okay.
watching Night and Heaven. So
Oh, that's a good one.
Harold Knight. Yeah, that would be one.
Very cool. But what about you, Mr. Dan?
Well,
They
two
got
of
like
them-
most of the good ones. I don't know.
two of them's been said already. So, Uncle Ted.
Well, go
first
ahead.
and
Go ahead.
foremost.
And that help confirms.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Uncle Ted first and foremost. Obviously, that would be a dream. And what's awesome about that, I did a job in Michigan, and I was like 15 miles from his farm up there. So I
man.
tried to drive past it, but I didn't know exactly where it was. But the guy was telling me I was close to it. I guess I missed it. Tim Wells, just because that dude's nuts. The things that he'll do to hunting wise is awesome. And Michael Waddell. I mean, watching some of his
Ooh,
stuff, he's
that's a good one.
hysterical. He's hysterical. Like, I think he
Yeah.
would be an absolute blast to hang out with, talk with, BS with, just hear the stories that man has. Some of the turkey stories he's told is just ungodly. Like, it's so funny to hear the things they've done to each other while they're hunting and tricks they've played on each other and all that.
Very true. Those should be some good ones. Now, out of those, like y'all need to zero in on like 1 to 2, and y'all need to start blasting them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, hey, we
absolutely.
want you. Yeah. So out of those, who would be your top 2? Like all of y'all kind of brainstorm there. Who would be the top 2 that y'all need to go after?
Definitely Ted Nugent.
I think Tim
and
Wills
honestly,
was,
the thing with that, I think Ted or Tim would be willing to talk. I really do think that out of those two, they'd be some of the most willing.
You're right. Yeah, I think
Michael
I
would
think you're
probably
right
be
about
pretty
that.
willing.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's a busy man. But
they're not. He's got his own podcast now as well.
Yeah.
You know, Ted and Tim, they're not opposed to getting out and talking to the public. They
No.
love
No, not at all.
getting, you know,
I just showed Tim this shirt that I'm wearing right here, and he'd come on that show.
I asked
we can't
BJ, I
see
said,
because y'all
you
heavy.
wear that during the 4th?
Oh man, I dressed to impress. I got camo shorts on,
Yeah.
brand new by Redhead for straight out of the Bass Pro Shop. And then right off of TikTok, I got an American bald eagle button up baseball jersey.
He ain't got a shirt on under it.
I got her faint. Yeah, I'm just sitting here, nips out, having a good time.
There you go.
Yeah. That's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever it takes. Whatever makes you feel happy in yourself. It's okay.
Exactly. You can hear this thing screaming.
You forgot about your hat there.
Oh, and I got my full rut hat on.
Full rut.
Thank you so much, Dwayne and Kelly. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate that. Wonderful people. Can't wait to get on a boat with
you. Yeah, that's a good
I
hat
see
choice.
this.
The same one I got on.
It's
I got to get a full rut hat. I'm not sure. I was talking with Greg and
Greg
which
Bowman.
is Greg Bowman. He's got a full rut hat. I do not have one yet. I don't know. I need to talk to Dwayne. Say, hey, look.
Jody, I'll make a call when I get off here. Okay?
Yeah, let BJ make.
I'll handle it for you.
I appreciate it. You do that. I mean, because I'm a barber in like real life. That's what I do for a living is cut hair. But I'm like one of these barbers who has like the big bald spot in the back. I don't know. It's kind of like
that beard's gorgeous.
You would think as a barber you would have hair. I had to grow the beard to make up for like the satellite dish on the back of my head, that big piece of bologna that I carry around everywhere I go. It's
that
sad.
Majestic.
I wanted to get one of them like one of them hair unit things, right? Like I was going to like get that I thought about doing that, but if I did it, I won't like you can order them with like 10 inches of hair.
Yes.
So I would want that, shave the sides, braid it, and I would just have a Viking style for a little while. You know what I mean? I don't have the muscle for it, but I would have the hair and the beard. You know what I mean?
Norway in you. I can see it.
Yeah, dude, I'd like to do it. Get some of them fake stick-on tattoos and have on the sides here. You know what I mean? I would roll it. I would do it.
One of those tents and just get painted up.
Right. Dude. But no, I'm just a boring Jody. He's got the ball cap on. I gotta step out of the comfort zone at some point. Kind of like you, Mike, with your nips out. I just gotta let it go. You know what I mean? At some point.
No, that wasn't Mike. That's BJ over here. That's BJ over here. My nips are enclosed.
So BJ's the one that's walking around bare-breasted?
Yeah.
He's
on hairy nips.
He's still in 250, baby. 4th of July.
I'm glad y'all's camera didn't come on live.
I know. It would have scared me.
I don't know if I could see all that.
Oh, Lord.
Buddy, I'm telling you, this right here is one of the things that brings...
Even if Mike's shirtless, I don't know if you'd see his nips anyhow, that bare hairy chest he's got.
I was drinking coffee at an early age. They told me to put hair on my chest.
I know, right?
It worked, I guess. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
so I always, as a barber, you always like give this advice. You say, if you want a thicker beard, you need to start shaving. So like, it'd be like a kid, it'd be like 14 or 15 and he's got like a spatchy neck beard. Like, dude, if you shaved every day, your beard would grow in full. Like I started shaving really young. I had like a beard. I looked like that guy who sold OxyClean when I was like 13. I mean, it was like coming in strong. So for you to have chest hair like that, PJ, did you start shaving like your chest and like body shaving when you was young, or is
it's all natural, man? It came on there like a rug and it just stayed there.
He's
Like 9 years old, 10 years old. Is you just wake up one morning
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, man,
Got the
okay.
hairy nips first, and then the rest of it filled in. And what's
It's
cool is
probably
you
pretty
get older.
fast, but yeah.
Yeah, as you get older, it kind of turns into like Neapolitan. So my dad, he was white on the chest and black on the belly. So that's where I'm heading right now.
Dude, that's almost like one of them bear colors you see where they got like the white spot in right
Yeah.
here. You know what I
He's
mean?
like an
Yeah.
old
And
sun
you're
bear.
like, wow, I want to.
Yeah, it's our Native
exactly.
American heritage just shining through bright and proud.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The what so like who are some of the people that you're gonna have on like your podcast here coming up?
well, right now we don't have a schedule of anybody coming on next Tuesday.
So you are open for Ted Nugent this following week
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
we're open for Ted Nugent next week for sure. Now we do
Tuesday,
have
Wednesday,
a
Thursday,
schedule
Friday.
of.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Take off work for
would make
Ted, don't
time
you?
for
Uncle
him.
Ted, you just
You tell us when.
yeah,
and we're
Monday
there.
through
Uncle Ted
Sunday.
anytime.
Yeah. BJ's in the union. He just call off.
I call off when I want to.
That's right.
Golly. See, down here in North Carolina, we don't have a lot of union jobs. We just get fired. They call it a right to work state, but it's actually a right to fire. It's like
We're a
fire
right
you
to work
state.
state as well, but I got a right to give you something else too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's right. It's
I
exactly
what I got a right to do. I got a right to eat some
Oh.
pepperoni rolls.
We got like these 5-pound pepperoni rolls, Jody.
You's over there eating yours while I was trying to set this stuff up.
Well, you know
Did
what?
Mama make them,
like,
Michael?
what's the deal with the 5?
Yeah, you're on camera. We can see your nips.
What's that?
Who made the pepperoni rolls?
What's that thing? Oh, you know where we got these from.
Oh, it's right here from Nikki's Bar and Grill.
Okay, I was gonna say
Yep.
did your wife make them or did you get those from Nikki's? All right.
No,
they're nice.
Mama
Nikki's
didn't
makes
make
some good
them.
ones.
Nikki's does make some good ones, but Mama does too.
Oh yeah.
Man, y'all got it going on up there.
Listen,
Pepperoni
Jody,
rolls.
you come
you
on
ain't
down
had
here
it, you're
anytime.
missing life.
Pepperoni roll heaven. Yeah,
I need to come up there and hang out.
you do.
Jody, you do. Here, I'm gonna share a picture with you real quick, just so you can see this. I want you to talk about this real quick. I just want you. I mean, cause you just looking at it, you can taste it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I haven't seen a picture pop up yet.
Listen, you can stay
coming.
over at the house, Jody. I'm a bachelor, so you can come over and hang out at the pad. I got like 17 deer on the wall, cold beer, chickens. I got a chicken named Johnny Ringo.
So let me ask you. I just have to ask. Okay, so you're at a bar, right? Let's say you're sitting at a bar. There's this good looking chick comes in, and you're sitting there, and you lean over. He's like, you need to come back to my place. 'Cause I got like 55 deer on the wall, and I got a turkey. you
know,
you ain't gonna believe this turkey I got.
Well, you got to think the state you're in. You're in a country state, so it might be a hit.
Yeah, I'm only 4 miles outside the city.
It might
They
be.
think they're in Deliverance. They're like, oh my God, I hear banjo.
Hey, Jody, he wasn't trying to hit on you.
Yeah,
I got you. I didn't know it. It was I kind of felt unsafe. I'll be honest with you. I kind of there for a minute. I'm like, oh, cool. Then it got weird. I don't know.
Listen, this is a safe space. It's
Safe
okay.
space.
Yeah. When he lowered his voice down and started talking, I knew then. I'm like,
Well, you know,
Yeah,
BJ's got that radio voice.
yeah.
yeah, he does. He does good with it. He was using it trying to lure me in, but
I was
no,
trying.
no,
I was really trying.
you ain't gonna.
I
There's
even
no
threw out
roofies
my
coming in my
roof.
American Cup. I ain't having that.
Listen, a man has to extend an invite. You know what I mean?
Did you get that picture yet, Jody?
No, it won't come up on this thing.
I think where you're
I'm not
streaming
gonna
live, it won't show up because the on the limb thing's gone too.
Well, yeah, it's probably the I think it is probably where's the streaming live thing. And we always do this in video, but this has been a learning experience. So this may be an audio only podcast. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the audio is coming in pretty good, but the video,
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, there may not be a video with it. There may be a video. It may be a video of just Dan kind of walking around the back of an apartment complex, but we'll make him like one day like a while ago I looked up and he ain't there no more. I'm like, somebody done kidnapped Dan. Then all of a
Could you
sudden Dan
imagine
came
if
back
Bad
in.
Boy started playing in the background? Dan just
Yeah, I
appeared.
didn't know where PJ was. I'm like, he just snagged him and took him to the house with the deer and turkeys. I didn't know
The
what
dog
happened.
ran off. I had to
do
go
have a
find him.
The dog.
Yep, the gobbler got out. He had to go get it.
Right there.
I can see. Yeah, I see. I didn't know. All I know is I looked up and I'm like, wow, he ain't there no more. He done abandoned this. He's like, this is not working out well for me tonight.
So Jody, what do you like to hunt best? You like to hunt turkey or deer?
Well, for me, I grew up running beagles and coonhounds, and I like going after like bear. We did that for about 10 years.
Okay.
And where I live at here, we have I don't know, got a lot of whitetail. There ain't like no monster. Like we're in North Carolina, no one saves up money to go hunt North Carolina for whitetail deer. So, I like to deer hunt. I do a lot of deer hunting, but I kind of got out of the coon dogs and that kind of stuff when my daughter was born. I sold those off, but I grew up being kind of a hound hunter and then turned into more of a whitetail hunter. I went through a divorce actually. Just about 5 years ago, 6 years, I guess 6 years ago now. And I was like, I'm going to like hold out and I'm going to meet a woman who loves the outdoors the way I do. Cause there's a lot of men who are like, if I just had a partner I could share this with, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just held out. Good Lord put a woman like that in my life. And just let me tell you, I don't have a favorite stand no more. I'm hunting on the edge of like neighbor's property against a posted sign. She's took that over.
I'm happy for you, man.
She's kind of over here, but yeah, she's shaking her head, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? It's like
That's
the
fantastic.
best guns that I have, I don't even know where they're at now. She wanted her own safe. I don't have the combination. I think my stuff's in there, but I can't prove it because I can't get in it.
It's okay.
I mean, it's very it's very different. Like she had a part-time job for a long time, so I would just get text message that deer were killed. I was at work, so I wasn't able to get over there. So it on the outside, you think this is what I personally want, and this is what. But once you get it, it's like ice cream. You may want 2 milkshakes, but about the second one going down is going to probably make you wish you just like had that one. But
Careful with your words, Jody.
You're about to see a
said it
fish
right
fly
there.
across the screen here in a minute.
yeah, she's giving me mean looks.
We about to say, where'd Jody go?
Yeah, hey Joe. Yeah, I'll be like, Dan, I just disappeared too. Won't be no dog. It'll be like, I won't come back.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
So we met about 5 years ago, then got married, and so we like to deer hunt and all that kind of stuff, go fishing, and it's kind of like you was talking, Mike, earlier, like when you take somebody hunting, like she's from Sacramento, California.
Totally.
So she grew up in the city and like a totally different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So when you get to share the outdoors with somebody, that means a lot more, and it makes it, I don't know how to put it, but I was a lot more excited with her killing a deer than if I had killed a deer that year, that type thing.
Yeah. And I'm
helping seal the deal.
It makes it
Yeah.
complete is what it is.
So when I've been with my son the several times that he's killed deer, all the way from a spike up to his 8, those times that I was with him and he harvested those animals, it's almost like the memories that I had, it trumped those like you wouldn't believe. I mean, the excitement, and I still get excited for myself. Like last year, I'm telling you, if you lose the excitement while you're hunting any animal, you need to stop.
Right.
Because
I agree.
it's just, you've lost. But that's one of the things that you want to strive not to lose is that excitement that you get from the outdoors, the adrenaline rush that you get by doing those things. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And, you know, you talking about hunting with your wife, that's awesome. I mean, I'm so glad and happy for you guys. But like my wife, she doesn't hunt. She does fish a little bit, but she really has no interest to hunt. But I'm going to tell you what she does do. She don't care that I go hunting or fishing, and she'll even pack us snacks.
Your
And
wife
nice of her.
she is a supporter of everything you do, and
Yeah, she is.
that is exactly what every man strives for.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
I think Rachel is a wonderful person. She supports everything Michael does.
She's amazing.
She
She
does.
really is.
So-
I'm very, very blessed.
So as somebody
and if
like
you
on
know
my
Mike-
end, all I'm hearing. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was gonna say, and if you know Mike, he's got to have his snacky snacks. He's like a little baby. He's got to eat every 15 minutes.
Oh, wait a
well,
minute.
Debbie,
No, isn't Mike the one who's doing like this archery thing and all this stuff?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee he's
I've
got his
got-
snacky snacks in that pack while he's walking.
No,
No.
dude. I was looking that he was the pictures that I see online. You can tell like that's like a 10-mile hike. Only thing he has is like pretty much everything that you find on the health websites. I mean, he looks pretty fit. He looks very
Little
serious in
Debbie-
that. I don't
There's
see
little
snacky
Debbie
snacks.
Christmas trees from in that pack somewhere.
now I'm gonna tell you,
You got,
I
you got
have,
the old raffle rattler
I have
going
cut
on.
the little Debbie's out. I've cut the little Debbie's out, but as soon as Halloween rolls around, them Christmas trees will be dropping.
Oh, they're coming. Yeah.
I ain't playing.
Yeah.
It's something about the Christmas tree, boy.
Then
I
they're
don't
all-
know. So I've been, yeah. So hearing you describe like that relationship, all I can hear is that you have your very own deer stand. Nobody's in it but you, right?
Unless his son beats him to
You're
it.
the one checking. Yeah. Well, yeah. So my daughter's 13, and she last year. This is a true story. This is really bad. So last year she wanted to go hunting and to kill a deer. And my dad passed away a few years ago, and I inherited his like Marlin 30 and has a country boy getting your dad's 30 is like that's the mecca gun that you want. You know what I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying? So I got that. Yeah, so I had that. And I was like, what an awesome thing would be for her to kill her first deer with daddy's gun, right? So I didn't care what she killed. I mean, blow the spots off something. I don't care. Just kill whatever. So here we go. And I'm like, I want to let her carry this gun, but you know, it's a 1972 Marlin. Like, I'm not going to load it. I'm just going to like let her carry it. You know, that kind of deal. I don't want to put one in the chamber and something happen or something. You know, with her having it at 13. So I give her the gun to her. She gets down there. A few hours later, here comes this really big doe out. She gets on it, pulls the hammer back, pulls the trigger, and it just clicks. Like I totally forgot to put a shell in it,
Oh,
a
Lord.
cartridge. She looked, and she knows. I mean, at 13, she knows I screwed up. And the eyes that she gave me, like, I mean, she looked
Really,
over at
Dad?
me. Like,
You deserved
Oh.
every bit of it.
yeah, like she,
Yeah.
like, here, give it to me. So I'm sitting here, and you know, like putting a cartridge in a 30-30 is like dropping, you know, a I don't know, a 2-inch wrench off of a bullnoser. You know what I'm saying? It is very loud. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like trying to slide this thing in, and I get it like loaded, and I hand it back, and about the time that she gets the deer in the scope, it like steps off into the woods. And the next morning, she's getting ready for school, and we're sitting here, and we have like European mounts because they're like cheap because now it costs so much to mount a deer. So we got European mounts here in the house, and we got a couple nice ones. Like I ended up getting like a nice 10-pointer. Lisa got a really big 8-pointer, and they're kind of like when you walk in the door, you put them there so people have the impression that we know how to hunt. It's just like, you know, BJ, you just happened to be at the right place, right time.
Right.
But so
My deer had anxiety.
yeah, that bipolar deer he had.
A lot of bipolar.
But yeah, so anyway, so it's over here, and she's sitting there, and she looked up, she seen that, she said, "Dad, if that deer would have had antlers, like either one of those two, I would have never forgive you. But since it's a doe, I'm going to try to process it. I said, okay, 13, man, 13 years old. So this
That's
year
awesome.
I'm going to buy a crossbow, and I don't even have a cross. I got like my Bowtech back here, and Lisa shoots a Carbon Rose, I think it's called. Yeah. And so I bought Megan a Matthews Mission, and she shoots it, but she don't, it ain't strong enough to kill a deer. So we're going to get a crossbow, and hopefully, I'll definitely will have an arrow in that thing when she gets ready to shoot. So
Yeah, Dad, this is like, you got one job.
I know. I totally
Get an
failed,
arrow in
man.
that crossbow.
Yeah, it is so, I failed so bad in that one. And, I'm fortunate that she actually wants to get out and hunt and do that kind of stuff. But, and I don't know, it's been an interesting journey with that. But, getting Lisa out in the woods and getting some deer on the ground with her.
Yeah.
And then got a couple stepsons and, trying to get them off the video games and outside. That's actually turned into more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have kind of an opposite story of yours. So my daughter, she hadn't been hunting at a young age, but she'd been fishing. She'd been in outdoors. We go camping and stuff all the time. And, last year she comes to me, she says, Dad, I want to get my hunting license. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. So I signed her up for all the classes. You got to take your safety class and your hands-on class and all that stuff with the DNR. And so I got all the classes and stuff done. She did her online class in one day. She finished it up. And then we had scheduled for her to do her in-person test. And she was like, I got to go in somewhere and take a test. I'm like, yeah, you're going to be fine. It's okay. So here in West Virginia, you go in and you do your hands-on. They'll show you a gun, and they'll demonstrate how to hold it and how to load it and different things like that. How to safely cross a fence or go down a hill and different things like that. So, before we went, I showed her. I said, this is how you're going to load a shotgun. This is how you're going to load a bolt-action rifle. This is how you're going to load a single shot. 410. Showed her what arrows was, showed her what broadheads was, because they ask you those things too.
Right.
And man, I was like, it was so exciting to know that her being just in the fishing part of the outdoors, it led her into wanting to hunt because she knows it's a family timeless tradition that we have.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So we got that all good. First day of gun season comes up. We're out there. We get out there and get set up. And I knew where I'd been out there. I'd scouted a little bit at this area. I knew where the deer were walking through. I knew where their paths were. And I set her up 10 yards in front of where these deer were going to come through. And so she's facing right towards the deer. I'm facing the opposite direction. I want to look down in the bottom, but I know these deer are working this little ridge. It was a little flat on this. And so she's facing right towards them. She's got her gun ready to go. Loaded, safety's on. These deer come walking through. There's 3 of them. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you gotta be quiet. Don't move, nothing before they're coming through. I was like, I hear them coming. I was like, they're coming right behind us. They're exactly on that trail I told you they was going to be on. They're going to walk right in front of you. She's like, okay. So she gets her gun up. She's got a single shot 410. She got a slug in it. Takes the safety off because she's got it up on her knee. Them deer come walking through like nothing's there. And I told her, I said beforehand, I said, you take the biggest one, I don't. And so it comes walking through, and the biggest one in there, she waited till it come through. It was the last one. And she took her shot, and she was like, did I get it? Did I get it? And I'm like, no, I don't believe you did. I think you missed a little bit. And it was like, I think she missed high.
Yeah.
And I was like, they just took off running. And we sat there. She looked at me. She was shaking. I mean, the adrenaline that she got from that, that right there was enough to get me through the rest of the year.
Oh, it's a great sign. Great sign.
Yes.
And
very true.
So we sat there, And I said that now it's not done. Don't think the hunt's done. I said it may not be the same deer, but I said there'll be more deer come back through. You know, we're right in the middle of this throughway that they're working through here. And so they come down on the bottom flat. So I'm facing down towards the bottom. She's still facing up. Well, they come from her right side. And I told her, I said, you're gonna have to somehow maneuver to get around, because we were sitting in, she was, she was up against a big tree and I was too. We hunt on the ground. And I said, you're going to have to maneuver some way to get around so you can get a shot on these deer. They're coming. I said, I can see them out there. I seen them out there probably 75, 100 yards out. And they were on the trail that was coming right towards us. And so that was another time that her adrenaline just, exploded. And she didn't even get a shot at these deer. I mean, just
Yeah.
her being a part of it and experiencing it. I said, you know what you have now? I said, don't look at this as a defeat. I said, look at this as a story.
Yes.
You have a story
Yeah.
that you can tell now to all
Absolutely.
people that want to hunt.
Yep.
And I
Right.
said, that's the awesome part about it.
Absolutely. Anytime, look, even me looking back, my childhood and all this mistakes that I made hunting and that kind of stuff, it always turned into like the first buck that I killed. My brother's 10 years older than me. He took me hunting. I was like 13 years old. And, growing up here, like my parents, their idea of getting you warm was a pair of long johns, 2 pair of blue jeans. I mean, it was nothing like really like any kind of hunting clothes. It was just like you just put on more work clothes and go sit in the cold. So I was sitting down there and I started freezing. I'm like 13. I was muzzleloader hunting. I didn't know anything about the muzzleloader except pulling the hammer back, pulling the trigger. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to the house. Well, so I heard like a shot coming from the bottoms where my brother was at. I'm like, man, if I ain't down there to help him get that deer out, he's going to be really mad. It's going to be bad. I said, I better walk back down there. So here I just I go down there and he's not in, he hasn't come out of his field yet. So I get back up in the stand and I'm just like chilling. All of a sudden I look over and here comes this little 6-pointer out and I smoke him and he just hits the ground right there. And I'm like so excited, my first deer, this and that. And what happened was somebody hunting the property beside of us is the one who shot. And then that ran that deer over I guess it missed that 6-pointer because he definitely was like trotting and something was up. And he was just, push him out of that. So then my brother come up and I told him what all I had done and this and that. And it was kind of, but I mean, it's the crazy stuff that makes the best stories and the memories. There's a million other deer hunts I went on that I don't even remember anything about, but
Sure.
that one being that stupid. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, I mean, guys, I appreciate you coming on board and sharing your stories and tell us about your podcast. And
Yeah, we appreciate
so
you
if
having us.
there's somebody, so if there's somebody listening who wants to start a podcast, there's actually a lot of kids in high school and getting out of school who want to work their way into the outdoor industry.
Yeah.
And I talk to these people a lot and, with GEN7 Outdoors, the TV channel, and they're not ready to be on the channel yet. They're not really even putting YouTube stuff, but they're excited about wanting to do it. What kind of advice? We'll start with Mike. I go to all three of y'all on this. We'll end with BJ. Not that I'm picking on him, but on that list, he was at the bottom. So they listed him last. But anyway, so Mike, what advice would you give them? Somebody, especially young youth wanting to get sharing their outdoor experiences and that kind of stuff.
Well, first of all, I would tell them to, create relationships. That's one of the biggest things that I think has pushed us to where we are today, is because of the relationships that we've created. We had the Nature's Voice game calls business to start with, and we still do. But through all the trade shows and the things that we've done in the outdoor industry, been on the NWTF stage back in the early, 2010 or 2011, 2012, 2013, we got to meet a lot of different people. We've only done probably 4 or 5 episodes without a guest, and we've done over 200 episodes.
That's
So
awesome.
there's always people out there that you can connect with and that you can talk with, and everybody's got a story to share. So, create those relationships, and don't just create it for the podcast. Create those relationships to become friends with them, and then carry it on into a business relationship.
Oh, very true. What about you, Mr. Dan?
Honestly, work hard. Don't give up on yourself. You know, there's going to be hard days. There's going to be easy days. Strive for the hard days and push through them. Make the hard
Yeah.
days your own. Enjoy it. It's going to pay off in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, BJ?
I'm going to go old school. I'm going to say you just push and pray until something happens. You know, everything that is possible is as through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Give him the glory. Make sure you keep your head up and you keep pushing, you keep praying, and great things will happen for you.
Yep.
Hey, amen on that. Absolutely, guy.
Yeah.
That's a good. You kind of ended on a high note there. Wow,
Darn it.
actually I wasn't expecting that. So,
Try my best.
Oh,
yeah,
BJ comes in clutch, buddy.
dude, it's like you just never know. No wonder y'all have him as that. Like he's in the background, but then when he talks, it's like it can be really profound or it's really way out there.
Yes.
He does good with it.
I'm a
You know?
wild card.
That's right.
No, Jody,
You need a half
that's
court
one
shot.
of
You
our-
throw it to
that's one of our
BJ.
things-
Yeah, no joke.
that's right. That's one of
Yeah.
our things that we try to use as our platform, God, family, country, and everything outdoors. We're not just going to get on here and talk about just the outdoors and the different stories. We want to include that into, God, family, and country, because all those things, we have all those things because God has put us where we are.
So I was sitting the other day, and I just want to add this on what BJ said. So I was sitting the other day, and I was having lunch with this guy who is a retired minister. He's kind of my mentor, Mr. Perry. And I told Perry I was telling him all about the channel. And, there's a lot of things that happen in the back end that's pretty stressful, and you just have to, hammer like like Dan said. You gotta make the rough days, the hard days your own, and just hammer through. And that's just what you gotta do.
Yep.
So I was having like one of those times, and I was telling him, I was like, I just pray, good Lord helps me with this, and like lift it up. He said, no, he said, that ain't it. He said, good Lord ain't here to help you with that channel, Jody. And I said, what do you mean? He said, so what the good Lord wants you to do is want you to say, I can't do it. I have to have you do it, God. I don't need your help. I need all of you to do it. And then God then will do it in a miraculous way. And then he wants all the praise. He doesn't want Jody to be, 60%, God 40%. He just like lay it on to him. He said, you just need to pray and put it on to him. And you just hammer what you're supposed to be doing that day and say, God, take care of it.
Amen.
And I remember we talked about that on the podcast when we first did it.
Yeah.
So since we talked that day, there is probably 20 to maybe even 30 new producers that either are just got live recently or in the process of getting their content ready or going to come on in August. I've got a ton of people who have reached out who are, probably going to be this fall when they come on board. So it's like, kind of like whenever we said that, and then BJ's talking about that again about, getting God, these kids who want to do this, get God in. It's just, sometimes you just have to get out of God's way and just pray, do what you're supposed to do, but just pray and just put it on him and say, Lord, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is in my heart. And then just let God move. And that's what's going on over here right now. It's just unreal.
Amen.
So guys, I appreciate y'all being a part of Gen7. I appreciate y'all sitting down with us tonight. We definitely ran into technical difficulties. I'm using this new this app, and I ain't gonna say like what company I'm using, but it's like, we're just trying out different stuff. And tonight was at one time on 101, it does great, but doing this, it's been interesting. So again, if video, just know I did a lot of editing. And if you just hear this on the audio, just know you're blessed. It worked out better for you that way. No, I'm joking. So no, it's but man, I appreciate all of y'all coming on board with us, guys.
I put
And yeah, and I just you know, I
Hey, it's
appreciate
a
it. I'm gonna be
pleasure, Jody.
promoting
Blessed.
y'all, and I always enjoy listening to y'all's podcast. And if there's anything that I can do, you know, just holler and shoot me a text, and I'd be happy to help out however I can. And I always love sitting down talking with y'all. And I appreciate all y'all do for the channel and promoting us the way y'all do and that kind of stuff. And I really appreciate that. Well, so yeah, I thank y'all. So if
Appreciate you,
you
Jody.
listen to this
Yep, thanks for
podcast, just know that GEN7 Outdoors Podcast has its own website now. It's called gen7podcast.com. It's available on GEN7 Outdoors, and it's available everywhere else: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, all the other I don't know, there's a bunch now. It's got our podcast on it. And I want to add to everyone listening that the other day I got an email. I shared it with my daughter. I was very excited. We are, even though we're only 2 episodes in, we are right now the number 11 podcast in wilderness in Nigeria, apparently, because that's what that email was sent from like Beatcast or something like that. I said, Megan, come here, look at this. She came in and said, look, we're number 11. Oh, Dad, cool. I was like, yeah. Then she said, Nigeria? Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know the population. Yeah, I don't know the population. We're number 11. You know what I mean? Like, I
Don't
don't know
matter.
if they speak English, but yeah, hey. And I, yeah, I told,
That's right.
yeah, and I told her, I was like, you know, I said, we talk a lot
Dude,
about
that's
God, and them people right
awesome.
there may need
Yes,
God.
fantastic.
So, yeah, so you don't never know, like, you know, but yeah, no, so
Hey,
y'all
we're
know
all
that
God's children. You know that.
there's going to be some Nigerians checking us out. And I appreciate all of you in Nigeria who watch our podcast. Thank you so much. But anyway, I hope all of y'all have a blessed night, guys. And
Yeah.
for everybody
Well, that's
listening,
awesome.
I just pray the good Lord bless y'all. Thank you again. And go check out GEN7 Outdoors. It's available on all the TV apps and mobile apps, free to watch. Tons of content now on there. So go check it out. And I hope everyone has a good night. Y'all take care. Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll see y'all.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Jody.
All right.
Appreciate you.